It's 110 Ocean Drive. It's the podcast, baby. We miss you all. We on the corner. Speed it up. Slow it down. Yeah, we like it this way. Let's go.
Speed it up. Speed it up. Eat it up. Eat it up. Eat it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. Hold on. 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 Speed it up.
What's up, baby? Hey, man, it's Thursday. Valentine's Day. Valentine's. Hey, we miss you all. Grant to my left. We got some shit to get into.
He's just waiting.
He's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready.
We already got into it.
We got Alex, our engineer on the ones and twos soundboard.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. We want to say thank you all for subscribing, man. We really appreciate it. We had a lot of comments that we've seen in the past, but ultimately, though, we got some shit to talk about. We wanted to start off. I wanted to start with something different today.
No, you didn't. Lies.
Hey.
So okay.
Wait.
So
okay. So we've been talking about this.
I'd like to
situation,
yeah,
right?
We're kind of halfway through it, but I would like to point out. A couple weeks ago, I said everyone by the end of next year will know Maurice Washington's name.
You did. So Maurice Washington. Let's kind of put that out there. So Maurice Washington, running back for Nebraska.
He plays for my Huskers. It's been a rough week.
Listen, and you know I don't really like to get into the topic of Nebraska to start shit off.
We got hit rapid fire on a couple.
But
got some child porn allegations, some credit card fraud.
Yeah, they got some criminal activity going on down there.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, to be fair, I'm going to start with the easier one to defend, which is the credit card fraud.
So let's speak on that.
So
two players.
Yeah, Caleb Tanner, and then I don't even know. He was a receiver. I think he's like a walk-on or something. They used a app that some kid on campus developed, it looked like, or someone in Lincoln developed, and they ordered like a pizza, and it turned out to be with a stolen credit card.
That's fucked up too.
Yeah.
First of all, why y'all stealing pizzas? And
they stole a grand total of $20, so I don't.
Anytime your coach making $5 million and you got to steal a pizza, man.
But I mean,
that's sad.
They'll probably
that is so sad.
They'll probably suspend him for the first game, and then I don't know. Caleb Tanner was pretty high profile, so he might be in better shape than the other one.
Well, I don't care about the $20 fraud.
Hey, let's keep talking about that
situation.
Let's keep talking about the fraud.
Why?
Let's stay on the fraud.
Hey, this is what I have a problem with. I don't care about the little $20 they stole. I think, first of all, that anytime you have resources that you can utilize to get food, utilize those resources.
Well, technically they did.
Well, who's the resource? Who's the resource?
The stolen credit card was the resource that they had access to.
I'm gonna tell you, anytime you're making a program millions of dollars, you should never, ever think that you can't eat, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to.
Well, and I mean, I think it just comes down to a couple, like, 18, 19-year-old kids being a little dumb. And it's kind of. I don't know. From what I read, I don't know if they actually knew that whatever they were doing was with a stolen credit card, because I don't know. There was some kind of third-party app involved that they used to like send money to a Cash App and then order the pizza or something like that. I don't know. But that one's weird. I don't think that one's going to end up being too big of a deal.
No, it is. It may not be.
It's like,
but I think that you still.
Yeah, it's like when Jameis stole those crab legs. It's like
he got suspended for that though.
Yeah, no, they should get suspended for sure. I don't. It's a stupid kid mistake. Like, I mean,
it's stupid. I'm glad.
It's
I'm glad
stupid.
I'm glad you want to point out stupid. I'm glad. Thank you for pointing out stupid. Let's talk about the other stupid shit that's going on in Nebraska. Okay, we have this running back.
Oh, I thought we were about to talk about basketball.
Nope. Running back.
If you guys can't tell, I'm trying to dodge.
Maurice Washington. Grant tells us, few podcasts ago, that we're gonna know his name. Yeah, we are. First of all, he came out of Texas.
Well,
He's been bouncing around from
Came out of
place
Cal-
to place. Came out of California. That's
Yeah.
where he's from.
he's native to San Jose.
Yes. Came out of California. He's
Then-
been bouncing around from state to state, different schools, different high schools.
Well,
My question was, I always wonder why. Grant told me, hey, the kid is coming out of Texas, big time recruit, but he has a little history, so they ranked him a 3-star. I never really
the
researched
3-star.
that shit.
Well, the 3-star the 3-star ranking was because they didn't think he was going to qualify. Like they'll do that with some of the
True. Academically, he was struggling, but let's talk about why he was struggling. Why was he struggling, Grant? Why was he struggling? There's a reason he's been struggling academically. He had a lot of baggage. He's like that side chick you had, and you didn't want to make her a main chick because she came with a lot of baggage. She had about 6 or 7 kids, 6 different baby dads. That baggage came along with his motherfucking ass.
I mean, anytime you see a kid who's been to 3 high schools, it makes you wonder.
That's why you would struggle academically.
Yeah.
Because you're bouncing from school to school, and we ain't in the military. You ain't a military baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that for sure. So, he's bouncing around from place to place. This is all alleged.
Yeah.
Situation happens in California. Let's read it. This comes out of the Lincoln Journal-Star, Lincoln, Nebraska, where the Nebraska the Cornhuskers play.
The Corn Saps. Hey, man. I've never insulted your team's name.
And I quote, newly filed documents in a California court laid out a timeline for investigators' attempts through the fall to talk to the Huskers running back Maurice Washington about allegations that in March of 2018, he sent to an ex-girlfriend a video of her being sexually assaulted by 2 other men. This week, Washington, Maurice that is, was charged there with a misdemeanor under the state's revenge porn law with a felony porn charge.
A felony child porn charge.
Child porn charge for the 10-second video sent to the girl from his phone. Now, at the time he was 17, the girl was 15.
No, that's incorrect. No, she's 17 now.
Yeah, no.
He was
17
at the time of the video.
He was 7
at the time.
18. He was 18.
No, he was 16 at the time of the video.
She was 15.
The video was taken 3 years ago.
2 years ago. March the 2nd, 2018.
No, that's when it was sent. That's when it was sent to the.
That's when it was sent to the mom. The mom got it.
That's
to
when
her
Maurice
phone,
Washington sent it to her, the girl's phone.
March 2nd, 2018.
Yeah, which was in the possession of her mother.
Then he tells her, "Do you remember this hoe?"
And then I think pukey face emoji.
So
I think that's what that means when it says brackets and then sick.
Wait a minute. So it said her daughter had received a video taken 2 years earlier of her daughter.
Yeah, 2 years.
This is the mom. The mom received the video to the daughter's phone. The daughter was 15. The guys involved in the video was 17 and 18.
Yep.
One of the guys in the video was prosecuted as a juvenile in court for what happened after the video was sent to the boys at the girls' school.
Yeah.
All right. Now, people want to know, how did Maurice Washington get involved in this? Well, what happened was he had already been threatening her about sending the video to her. The girl said, it was almost like a feeling of, what the heck? You knew what happened and you're still trying to make me feel bad. Listen, you knew the girl had been involved in this sexual allegation with these two dudes. First of all, let me just keep it a buck. Hey, listen, this has nothing to do with Grant and his team. I don't care about none of that. Hey, first of all, Maurice, you knew you was pussy for sending that shit. That's not even cool, because if you was a real dude, you wouldn't get down like that. A real dude don't go to a woman and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make her feel bad today. I'm gonna make her feel like this today because she don't give me what I want. You was sucker for ever doing that. If that would have been my daughter, yeah, it would have been different. You wouldn't have had to call the police. Send it to my old lady phone, it wouldn't have mattered. I'm coming to see you, young fella. But the bigger issue for me is the way Nebraska handled it. And that's what we're going to get into. Grant, how do you feel about the way Nebraska handled it? Because I feel a certain way.
I feel like it could go one of two ways because there's not enough information right now.
Okay, well let's talk about that.
Because they reached out in August.
August 28th.
But we don't know what they reached out.
There was an investigator that reached out.
Yeah, and said that they were interested in interviewing him. Or no, in August they asked for his contact information.
Right.
Okay, and then in September they asked for an interview.
Well, they didn't know that he played for Nebraska. They just thought he was going to school there. They didn't know he was an athlete based on this.
The investigator had to have known. And if he didn't, then maybe that's why the investigation took so long. Because
that's possible. Very possible.
With this type of thing, it makes you wonder why it took so long. But if they have all what they say, because it's a legal case now, so
because if you're thinking just the players who's going to school, I mean the guy just going to school
it's not like he wasn't a high profile. He was a high pro. People, if you Google it, if he ever just Googled his name, he would have seen him all over the place. He would have known exactly where he was. If he would have turned on a TV,
that's what you would have saw him.
You would have seen him. It's not like he was hiding.
Well, on August the 29th, the investigator out of California contacted an investigator here in the state of Lincoln, Nebraska, about the allegations. September 13th, the same investigator that was contacted in Lincoln, Nebraska, is now contacting UNL's police about this incident. Talked to the compliance director at Nebraska to say, hey, you got something brewing down there with this Maurice Washington kid. We need to do an interview with him.
Well, I mean, we don't know that that's exactly what he said. We know that he asked for... Well, no, let's not misquote things and stretch it. No.
What? Hey, listen, man. The way it's quoted... Okay.
The way it's quoted says Mr. Vaughn spoke to UNL football staff when... what does it say? No, that's our guy.
Right.
What did the investigator asked? He said,
Vaughn spoke. Wait a minute, I got it. Mr. Vaughn spoke to UNL football staff who were concerned about Maurice needing a lawyer.
Vaughn is the compliance officer.
Compliance department.
Yeah. So that's
Nebraska.
Why?
Because he has already spoke to Sexton.
To Sexton, yeah, and Sexton just said that in the quote. It doesn't say anything about having something brewing. Says we would like to. They said we would like to have an interview. It smell
like shit is shit.
But that's. I mean, you can't just misquote things.
All this is. Hey, listen, man. All of this is allegedly. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not saying Maurice.
And
I'm not saying Maurice did this, but I am saying that the mother received a video. I already know. I feel as though it's very possible that this happened, and he sent the video.
I believe that he did.
My only thing is when it comes to the handling of this situation, who will it fall onto? Because they let the school know that on September 19th that they wanted to speak to him.
And it sounds like they approached the football staff, and the football staff probably went to Maurice Washington and expressed that he should probably get a lawyer, because there was a law enforcement officer requesting an interview, and anytime a law enforcement officer is requesting an interview, probably a good idea to have a lawyer with you.
Exactly. Well, then
that's your right.
They asked for the interview on September 19th. Mind you, Nebraska had already played. They were in their second week, football week.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't return the call. By December the 19th, they had sent out a email. I'm sorry, it's December 14th. They had sent emails and a copy of the search warrants in the case. So they basically said, listen, he's not trying to talk to us. We got to come get him.
Well, that's not, no, because
we gotta come down there and have a conversation with him.
Well,
we got to figure this out. Because they're not taking it serious.
That's not what they said.
Yeah, they did. They did say that.
No, it just says that he just sent information.
Emails
he just
and
sent
copies
information.
of the search warrants in the case.
Where
an interview never happened.
Okay,
so
nowhere in there.
Now he didn't. By this time, he done turned himself in.
So what are these search warrants though? Is it a search warrant for Maurice Washington's phone? We don't know. All that says is that he sent emails and search warrants. That's it. We don't know what they were specific to or anything. We don't know the contents of the email. We don't know what the search warrants were for. That's my only thing.
All right.
So if really once the compliance officer gives the information to the coaches and they recommend that he gets a lawyer, and the second he gets a lawyer, pretty much it's in the lawyer's hands now.
I'm glad you say that.
And no, because an official arrest warrant was not filed until late last night. Today, I think. I don't know. It was either late last night or today that a warrant was filed. And he went back to California on Tuesdays to self-surrender. So now it's a different thing. If it had an arrest warrant been filed and they just ignored it and he kept playing, that would be a whole different thing where I'd have an issue with the athletic department. But I don't know what their process is, and I don't know if they had any reason to pull him at any point, because I don't know what information that this investigator gave them. We don't know. All we know is he contacted him, asked for contact info, contacted him, asked for an interview.
Well,
we don't know anything beyond that.
Athletic director Bill Moose, is that right? Bill Moose?
Yeah, I believe so.
Told Husker Sports Nightly radio station on Tuesday that the department is treating this as a legal matter. He said, and I quote, "We want to make sure that Maurice is cooperating, which he is. We also want to make sure that he knows that he has a great deal of support." Now, that's great, man. That's great. I'm glad, you as the athletic director came out and said this, and you said that we're cooperating. My question is, why were we not cooperating in September?
Well, here.
That was my only question that I had for Grant. Why wasn't they cooperating in September? Let me tell you my opinion. I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead. I'm going to give it to you.
That's fine. Well, my opinion is they didn't want him to talk to an investigator without a lawyer, from what I see, because that the one thing that stands out in that whole thing is the Nebraska coaches expressing that they were concerned that he needs a lawyer.
If you're innocent, you don't need a lawyer. You can speak for yourself.
You can't. You have to take that out of it because that's everyone's right.
Listen,
that's your right as an American. You can't just take away people's rights.
Now listen. I understand how certain things work.
And I would
if you bring the kid to the department and you say, "Hey man, I got a few questions for you. What's up? Were you involved in this? I don't know nothing about that. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. All right, X, Y, and Z. Cool. Well, I think you were involved. If you don't want to say nothing else, then you say, I wanted my lawyer present. A lot of times, this is just some stuff I've been through. If you ain't done shit, it don't matter. But if you knew you was involved in something, yeah, I gotta bring my lawyer with me.
I would,
because I'm not gonna say nothing.
If I was interviewed for anything with the police, I don't think I would want to go without a lawyer.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Regardless of whether or not I did anything. Because I would always want to speak with my counsel. Yes. But if it's just some questions, I mean, what we talking about? Yeah.
What we talking about? I just think that my bigger issue was the handling of this situation.
Yeah.
The way it was handled. They received information. This is how you see what I got. What grins?
Well, Alex is bringing up
Alex, my guy, my lawyer guy.
He's just expressing kind of what I expressed, where you shouldn't talk to. This is the Norfolk 4. I've never heard of them, but apparently they were coerced into confessing with the death penalty. So that's, I mean, how many, especially Tave,
was coerced.
Let's talk about the reality.
Man,
would you tell
a different day and age? You let a man convince you. You let a man convince you of some shit.
But
you see what I'm saying? You can't.
But with the fear of death, they can.
Brothers are a lot smarter than that these days. If he's not smarter than that now, he was a sucker in the beginning. First of all, he was a sucker in the beginning anyway to me.
Oh, Alex is making an appearance.
Oh man. Oh, what's up, Alex? Talk to me.
So I don't usually jump in on the podcast.
Well, shit, why you jump in then?
Because you are fundamentally incorrect about your representation of how the legal system treats innocent people.
So you think he was innocent?
No, I'm saying that the quote, "If you're innocent, you don't need a lawyer," has been used repressively throughout the ages to get false convictions out of people who don't understand their rights.
You hear Alex has some shit to talk about. He wanted to talk to you today.
The Norfolk 4 is just one example of countless times where the police have used the concept of innocence not needing a defense as a way to prevent people from protecting themselves from undue process. So, if I were charged with, say, stealing from a store, and the police picked me up, and I didn't understand how the legal system worked, and they told me, well, you want to talk to your lawyer, that makes you look guilty. So, you shouldn't get a lawyer unless you're guilty. That would be a representation that I don't need a lawyer unless I'm guilty. The reason we have this system that allows for people who can't afford a lawyer to still receive representation, regardless of how you want to look at that representation, as whether it's equivalent to what the wealthy can afford to pay to represent themselves with. That aside, the reason we allow people to have a lawyer, even if they're innocent or even if they can't afford it, is that you are fundamentally at a disadvantage to the state defending yourself against people who are professionally trained to prosecute you. Whether they have the evidence necessary, whether they have any reason to show that you are in fact guilty, is irrelevant. The important thing is that you have somebody who's capable of protecting you from how the system actually works.
All right, I get that, but my beef wasn't that though. My beef was the fact that I felt Nebraska as a whole dropped the ball on this particular issue.
And I'm not in for that part of the conversation. You know I don't care. My reason for jumping in here is simply to express that the concept of you don't need a lawyer if you're innocent is fundamentally flawed and an oppressive statement.
I agree with that 100%. No, I don't disagree with that at all. I believe that...
You said it.
No, wait a minute. I said it because if it was that big of a... If you knew you didn't do nothing, you can go up there and you can say, hey, I didn't do shit. I don't have nothing to do with this. Y'all keep calling my phone. You keep bothering me. You calling my mama's phone, X, Y, and Z. I don't know nothing about this. If you have anything else to say to me, then therefore I will have my lawyer with me present next
But
time
you
we
just
speak.
said if he was innocent, he wouldn't need that lawyer.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
You can't say
I don't
I'm
think
innocent.
so. I don't think so.
Here's the thing. You
got to bring your legal counsel. You're right.
You keep saying you don't need a lawyer if you're innocent, but you also keep saying, and if you want to talk to me more, talk to my lawyer. You can't have it both ways. You either have the lawyer or you don't.
As soon as you say, I want my lawyer present,
But you just
the
said that he
interview
wouldn't
stops,
need
right?
one.
Is it not right? Is that not right? When you say, I want my lawyer present for any more questions, then the interview stops, right?
That's correct.
All right.
But
That's
you
how
are
it works.
representing that he doesn't need that lawyer. You can't invoke a lawyer you don't have, Tave.
They gonna have they have the lawyer.
But
they,
you said
they
he didn't need one.
But they said that there was already representation for Nebraska. So therefore the lawyer's gonna come in regardless. If he says, hey, they've contacted me multiple times, if he goes to his coach and say, hey, they contacted me multiple times, well, we already have a lawyer that is in our back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes to have the conversation in September with their team, Nebraska is going to have that lawyer go with him regardless. Now, my thing is this. Nebraska really just put it off until the season was over, because that's why in December they sent those emails and say, hey, we have a search warrant for this case. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my deal. If it was that big of an issue, then yeah, they're gonna say, hey, listen, Alex, you're coming with me. You're going with Maurice Washington for this interview.
In this scenario, I would be their retained lawyer.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I knew that would happen. I'm saying if it was nothing initially, you could have just went up there and said, hey, listen, I don't know nothing about this. But what you're saying is accurate. Listen, you don't ever go cooperate unless you have a retained lawyer with you. I'm with you 100% on that.
Sure.
I'm just saying that if it was nothing, it's nothing.
But you're saying this now, but what you said verbatim is,
Alex, I know what the
if
fuck
you're
I said.
innocent, you don't need a lawyer.
Alex, I know.
You keep saying that you take this lawyer and everything. The issue is that you straight up said,
Alex,
you don't need it. But I'm gonna let Grant back in because I think we're on the same page.
We are.
At this point. So
hey, we are on the same page, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that what's going to happen with this situation as well is some people may lose their jobs, or it may be something.
They may, but how do you know that this wasn't something worked out between Maurice Washington's lawyer and the prosecution?
That's possible.
That's
very
what I'm
possible.
saying.
Oh, keep on,
Yeah.
man. Keep saying what you gotta say, man.
I'm just saying, the fucking troll. I'm just saying that I don't think we have enough information right now. I want to say this because I believe that Maurice Washington did this, and I believe that it was fucking wrong, and it was a massive dick move, and he needs to be held accountable. In what way? I don't know. But,
He will be.
And he will be. But the way that I see this going is I think he's gonna plea out of it. I think he's either gonna get suspended for half the season or go to a JUCO, whatever that is, whatever the determination is there. But the concerning part for me is I'm not concerned about the way what we have in this article, because all of that just seems like procedural red tape that everyone has. Like, oh, they want an interview, you request an interview, you wait, you request another interview, whatever. The legal process takes a really, really long time sometimes.
Right.
So I need more information about that. But the more concerning thing is this happened in March, and it becomes a question of when did they become aware of it? Was it in September or was it in March? Did they find out that there was, you know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
Like,
I'm with you.
That would be the concerning part for me. And that, like, if they brought him in knowing all that, and then it comes out that they were trying to cover it up with this stuff, like, let's say that everything goes the exact way that you think or that you see it went, then yeah, I'm going to be pissed off and people need to lose their jobs. But if this is the process that they have set up with their, I'm sure their compliance officer is following all the rules. That's kind of their whole fucking purpose, right?
Right.
Right,
No, you're right.
Alex? Isn't that what compliance officer?
Yeah.
Make sure they're
they have
doing
to,
everything
they have to
legally.
they have to cover their own ass.
Yes.
Then it's a bigger situation than what we already have. You don't want anything like the whole Penn State scandal to happen.
No.
I mean, now mind you, that's dramatic. That's really dramatic. But
And this
it's just
isn't
the way they handle the situation.
This isn't at the same level.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But
it's
the handling
yeah.
of the situation.
It could be. It could turn out to be horribly mishandled.
Yeah,
It could.
and
but
that-
I just we have 3 quotes. We have about 3 paragraphs to go off of right now, and I just don't think when you're talking about people's entire this is going to change the course of several people's lives. So I think that it would be foolish to make judgments with this little information. It's something that definitely obviously needs to they need to do an investigation and figure out where exactly.
Yeah, Nebraska's going to have to. They're going to have to take some strong initiative to make sure that everything is taken care of. Listen, man. Listen. Even with that, look, we do sports. We talk all different types of stuff on here. So this is just not sports. We talk about everything. But my bigger problem, not only with the handling, but the way the guy is though. Like you a man. You act like a I expected more from the kid. I watched him play this year. I thought he was a great, talented young man. But anytime you try to throw your weight around and show a woman that you're inferior.
Well, I think it was more of like a control thing.
Yeah, man.
From what
That's sad.
usually, it's like
You trying to control some
I have
female,
this
huh?
I have this power over you,
Soft ass boy.
Yeah.
Now, on to another topic, another controversial topic. Let's talk about Kareem.
Oh, going to the Browns?
My guy Kareem Hunt's going to the Browns. Just got signed. Base salary $645,000.
Oh shit.
$25,000 signing bonus will be paid. Kareem will also collect another $55,000 if he meets the criteria for the off-season workout bonus. They got a steal.
Yeah,
The Browns
that's crazy.
have a steal. And
That's less than fucking Justin Tucker's base salary, I think.
bro, who are you telling? I saw this and I was
That's
immediately
insane. That might go down as it could go down as the best signing or worst signing ever, depending on how the people of Cleveland take it. But they're, I have my own thoughts about the fans of Cleveland.
This is how I feel about it. First of all, I'm super excited that he is able to get back on the field and do what he loves to do, because a lot of people are not able to do that, and he's extremely young, 23, 24. They're not able to go back to the profession that they love and they enjoy to do on a day-to-day basis. Now, it's a lot of media, though, that is putting out a lot of negativity, and that right there is concerning. When the story broke that Kareem was getting signed to the Browns, ESPN sent out a notification that said Kareem Hunt, former Kansas City player that shoves a woman, that kicked and shoved a woman, is now signing with the Browns.
Yeah, I got that alert.
What? Wait. What? Seriously? Is that clickbait, or are you do not want this guy to get past
Well,
the
I
past.
mean,
I guess that everyone that is a part of sports knows that he was released.
yeah.
And we
and
knew
I mean,
why.
it's gonna
Why does that matter though?
because it matters.
That
You can't
wait a minute. It
because
matters that you put that in the notification.
I'm saying
Do you release it like
that information is relevant.
Why?
I don't know about
Why is it relevant?
because I mean he did it. He's the first guy who's done that to really come back from it.
No, it wasn't. I mean, Greg Hardy just beat the shit out of his old lady and went to Dallas.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when a video surfaced of them doing that. Not I mean, if you want to go down the laundry list of fucking NFL players who've gotten away with domestic abuse, we can do that. But I'm saying like, there's the video, and that changed everything, just like it did with Ray Rice. So I think this is just there's a lot more shock value with this one. So you're gonna put that if your goal is to generate traffic on your website, then
That's how you do it?
yeah.
By putting the rhetoric out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Is a man not supposed to have a job though? Like,
well,
because Molly Karam come out and she said something that he should be suspended for a year. Listen, I'm sensitive to this. I'm sensitive to this situation, but I was raised a certain way, and maybe I was raised wrong, and I don't think so. My mom, I love my mama to the end of the earth, and you can't tell me nothing different whether she was right or whether she was wrong. If you said something disrespectful to you, I bat you in your mouth. But I want you to know this. My mom had always told me, she said, Martavis, she said, never put yourself in a situation as a woman should never put herself in a situation to identify that she wants to be like a man, in the sense of her trying to fight you like a man because she can't overpower you, to disrespect you like a man because if you get out of pocket and you hit her, then it's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother story. She was like, women shouldn't do that. That's why I've never done that. One thing I've always told anyone, listen, I don't want you to be scared of me or be afraid of me, but don't ever act like you are one of my homeboys. Because if I bat you in your shit, it's another conversation. Not saying that will happen. I'm just saying the conversation is different. If you want to be a man and get hit like a man, that's going to be completely different. I don't think that we as people continue to put ourselves in those situations. I think the woman said some racial slurs. It got out of control. Now, he was wrong. We don't have to argue that at all. But I also think that when you deal with athletes, especially football players, who are in a collision sport, who are gladiators, bro, they have to turn it up. As soon as the game starts, you're hitting a man back and forth the whole game, 48 minutes, right? When you hear racial things being said to you, it's easy for someone to say, anybody that tries to provoke you, it's easy for someone to say, just walk away. You can say that because you ain't in that situation.
yeah.
It's easy for you to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
When him getting the proper treatment, the proper help that he needs, yes, he deserves that. But when that thing is happening in the moment,
Yeah.
it's different.
Well, and
It's different. Shit is different.
Yeah.
Shit is different. Hey, man, if you got into it's different, man. It's different. I'm just saying that we as people have to be reserved, man or female. I would say walk away from the situation, but that's me being on the outside. I'm not Kareem Hunt. I don't know what happened. Any situation any part of the situation.
It's funny.
Go ahead.
I gotta.
Because I go out on
Hey,
random
man.
and shit.
We just had a whole 30-minute conversation, and all of a sudden now Tave doesn't know enough about the situation to comment.
No. I'm saying I don't know
Yeah.
much about the
I'm just
situation in
fucking
regards
with
to
you.
the woman.
Yeah.
Woman's.
But don't.
verbal.
But let me play devil's advocate.
Okay, yeah, play it.
Do you know what Maurice Washington and that girl's relationship was?
They dated
Yeah, but do you know?
prior to.
Do you know if there was like terrible? What if this girl was doing something like that? What if she cheated on him? What if all those things happened?
I thought. Don't get it twisted. I thought Kareem Hunt was pussy too.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Listen,
I know.
I don't. One
No,
thing
I'm
about
just-
it,
I'm
when you
playing
beat on
devil's
a
advocate.
female, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
When you beat on some woman, I don't think you know dude anyway. Like you wouldn't do that tough shit with me,
No.
because most guys that hit on women, they ain't hitting on guys, because they soft. You know, they want to be in control. But you go you go hit up on a guy for a few times. Ask Grady, we get down. That's different.
Yeah. No, and
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying you have to be, you have to take everything in consideration. I got it. But I felt the Browns, not only the Browns, but Kareem Hunt also deserved a second chance. I think with the Maurice Washington situation, he's had multiple chances.
well, Kareem Hunt did too, though. Kareem Hunt had several run-ins with the.
That was out of Toledo?
No, when he got to the NFL, he had 2 incidents before this one.
What was the first one?
It was a bar fight with a group of dudes.
Right. You I mean, guys have egos.
Yeah.
Stuff get handled. But with Maurice Washington, he tried to show her, like, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Kareem wasn't doing that. I mean,
even you don't know that, though.
Even with the situation when he didn't even push her. He pushed his friend.
Yeah.
His friend hit her.
Well, and
she failed.
But you got.
So when they said shoving, he wasn't shoving.
But you also got to remember that Kareem Hunt's a lot older, and that you have to take. I believe you have to take that into account.
Whether you're 19 or 23, I think you're the same age.
I disagree. I disagree. I think you, like, when you go off that first year, you go off and you live by yourself is when you, like, there's a huge maturity leap.
You grow up, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just Kareem Hunt had that. That's my just playing devil advocate still.
Right.
But I think Kareem Hunt is what he did is just as bad. But I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. No,
I don't disagree with you. I agree with you.
And it becomes a question of how much do you think he deserves to be punished and lose? Because Kareem Hunt has lost millions and millions of dollars.
Right. No,
I mean, he was. I believe this would have going into next year. He would have signed his next contract.
He would.
And he probably would have. He would have become one of the top 10 paid running backs in the league, easily. And he lost all of that, and now he's making. I mean, it's still $650,000, but
it's still for the Browns, because that's like a 5th round pick.
Yeah, he's gonna be making as much as the punter.
The punter might make more.
He might, if he's a good one.
The punter might make more. I believe this, man. I believe Kareem Hunt deserves a second chance, just like I believe that Mixon deserved a second chance. I believe that Maurice Washington deserved a second chance as well. Like I said, my beef wasn't with the Maurice Washington situation. My beef was with the way Nebraska as a whole handled the situation. Like you said, though, they may have handled this to the T, and then the information we're getting from the Lincoln Journal-Star could be inaccurate.
Well, yeah, it could be.
It's always a lot of fake media out there. Period.
I think the quotes that they have regarding, like the UNL officers, I think that's probably going to be accurate, because the Lincoln Journal-Star has always been pretty on point with that stuff, especially when it comes to the athletic director or the athletic department, and really the school in general. But there could it might not. It could be something where the Lincoln Journal-Star misprints something, or they got wrong information, or this or that. And like with the Kareem Hunt thing, like you said, you don't know what happened, you don't know what she said, you don't know what led up to that. Obviously, what he did was, you just can't put your hands on really anyone. Period.
Yeah, especially with the society we live in today.
Well, and especially, if you're a man, women putting your hands on a woman is definitely
wrong. Yeah, it's wrong.
It's a more serious offense than getting in a fight with another man, I believe.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're, when you're that physical of a presence of a human,
True. And you're the one of the faces of the organization. So it's gonna be completely different. I agree with that. I just think that with Kareem Hunt, man, this could be a good situation for him. It ain't shit in Cleveland. It's nothing in Cleveland, period. That shit is like going to Akron.
Well,
it's gonna be.
Now they could be. Think about that though. Think about that team with him on it.
No, it's gonna. I'm saying it ain't much trouble you're gonna be able to get in.
They're gonna have fucking no. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because Cleveland's a terrible city.
I ain't signed.
It was you remember Joakim Noah?
Yes.
When's the last time you heard anyone say that they were going to Cleveland for vacation?
Hey, bro.
That was fun.
Hey, bro. Me and some guys last night, we were looking at tickets because, side note, Cleveland played Brooklyn last night. We're watching the game. Bro, the entire arena was basically empty.
Yeah.
So we looked at tickets, just tickets in Cleveland for the game because they play the Suns this Thursday coming up. This next Thursday coming up. Bro, tickets started at $3.
No, they didn't.
Tickets
$3?
You can sit damn near by the floor for $60.
That's ridiculous.
For 200
Good job, Dan
bucks,
Gilbert.
we can get 4 tickets.
God.
On the 15th row.
Dan Gilbert is the worst owner.
That's trash. So clearly it's nothing in Cleveland. Him going to Cleveland, Kareem Hunt going to Cleveland. I think he'd be fine.
That's gonna be really that fucking two-headed monster with him and Chubb is gonna be kind of nasty.
I agree. I agree with that. So on to the next topic. And this is a lighter note. Did you see DK Moncrief? I mean,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf in that picture? Mm-mm. Listen, man. Alex, man, do me a favor, man. Pull this up, man. Pull up DK Metcalf. He's standing by a group of receivers in this picture. Now, mind you, he come out of Ole Miss. And Ole Miss has my guy Grady said he called them the NWO nasty wideouts. If you look at this receiver picture, yeah, right there, Alex, that one. These are all receivers. On the far left, though, that's DJ Metcalf. Do you see the size of this young fella?
Yeah, no, he's big.
Bro, his statue is like he was on steroids.
He's a lot bigger than all of them.
The kid is massive. 6'4", 225 pounds. They have him as the number 18th receiver coming out of Ole Miss. The crazy part about that is this. They said just based on his stature alone, it moved him up in the draft.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Going into this season, the big prospect was the other guy in that picture, AJ Brown.
And he's a good sized kid.
He's huge. I didn't realize Metcalf was that much. He's about a head taller than him.
Man.
And AJ Brown's 6'2".
Yes. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he was a bodybuilder. Actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was a defensive end.
Yeah, he looks like a defensive end.
So like some Vic Beasley type stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a defensive end standing with the receivers. And then I was like, no, maybe he's an outside linebacker. And because I'm just reading it, and I didn't watch Ole Miss. The last time I watched Ole Miss, Hugh Freeze was down there. I kind of watched him in and out this season. I didn't really like that team. I did like their quarterback that came from Hawaii. I think he's from Hawaii. But ultimately, I didn't really pay attention to much of their team. They had a nice receiving core, though. I knew that. I knew they had a nice receiving core, but I didn't know. Based on I just watched some of the highlights on DJ Metcalf. This kid right here, he has it. He has it.
Yeah,
and
no,
they put out
watched
some good receivers anyway. Ole Miss does.
The one game I got to watch with them was, I think it was the first week. They played Texas Tech. And when I was watching that, I was like, these receivers they have are fucking massive.
Golly. Hey, I'm talking about men.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't wait to watch the combine that's coming on. I always watch it on NFL Network because I enjoy the way they do all the analytical work.
Well, if he does something like if he does one of the, if he's one of those combine freak guys, he's probably gonna. I mean, I would be surprised if he vaults himself to the number one receiver.
Oh yeah.
Like if he puts up like a 4.5 and has like a 45-inch vertical, it's over.
It's gonna be hard because at 6'4", and with his build, and depending on how many reps, how many times he does 225, it's going to stuff is gonna be different. I mean, but now you gotta look at it like this though. The way football is, man, kids are bigger, stronger, faster.
Well, look how fucking long his arms are,
bro. Yeah.
Do you see the guy standing next to him,
bro? He like a kid.
His arm goes down the same. Like that guy's like 2-3 inches shorter than him, and their fingers are at the same spot.
Bro, he's touching his knees already.
Yeah.
Massive hands. I feel like I'm looking at a Greek god right here. This is crazy.
No pause on that one, huh?
No, hey, when you look at the picture, you're gonna hit the pause button regardless. That's motherfucker right here.
No, it's gonna be interesting to see who this year's combine freak is.
Try to fight him, boy. You got to bring a gun.
Yeah. I'm not fighting him.
I'm gonna slap him. At least I gotta get at least one.
I'm short enough though, where he might just look over me and just not see me.
Hey, that's one of those guys you gotta rush, but then you try
or
to
maybe
rush it.
maybe he's like a T-Rex if you just stand still. DK can't see you.
Oh my gosh! Hey man, hey, I admire this young fella. His diet.
I don't believe that
His
he's
nutrition
only, I don't
team.
believe that he's only 6'4".
Bro, I know he looks like he's about 6'5".
Well, if AJ Brown's 6'2", there's no way he's only 6'4".
Yeah, he looks
because he could put his chin on top of his head.
I know. Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. These are some good sized kids, man. Speaking of Brown,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown. What's up, Antonio? What is going on? You demanded a trade.
That was funny. As if I don't know. Doesn't that kind of feel like you can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah, it did.
Everyone knew you were getting traded already. You just formally. What'd you think they were gonna do with you? Just let you sit there and, get paid? No.
Well,
they were trading him.
He's probably going to get traded to, the demand, San Francisco. That's what he wants as far as the demand. The problem with that is a lot of people are saying
the Steelers are going to need a first-round pick, or maybe two. Because if Amari Cooper got a first-round pick...
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
This motherfucker warrants a couple.
They said they're not getting it. They said they're not getting a first round pick just based on his off field behavior. because you know he just got in a domestic dispute again.
Oh, did he?
No, well, I shouldn't say again. They brought up a domestic dispute. The previous situation was speeding, doing 105 and like a 60 or something in a Porsche. Well, this next situation was involving, they said, his wife. It was a domestic situation. And that right there warrants that he may be suspended for the first few games.
Yeah.
No matter where he goes. So that alone is already saying you're not getting, then no, we're not giving you first round pick for Antonio. And he's 31.
Yeah, I mean, then you'd...
He only has about 3 more years anyway.
Yeah.
3-4 more years.
Well, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's... The last couple seasons, he's... Like, the last 3 years, he had the torn calf muscle. He's had a couple different injuries, hasn't he? I remember he tore his calf muscle, like, last year or maybe the year before that. Which is... That's... I mean, anytime you tear a muscle... Not the best.
No, it's not. It's not. But you know, you just look at the longevity of NFL players anyway. It's only 4 to 7 years anyway. So he's been in the league. He got drafted
like 9 years, I think.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 9 years.
Yeah, him and Emmanuel Sanders came in the same class.
I think that I really believe that you'll get a second rounder for him, and it's not going to be multiple picks. I think they may give you a second round and that's it.
See, they should have traded him a while ago.
They should have, because his value would have been higher.
They would have been able to,
more. You wouldn't be in this contract.
Well, and he's got I mean, that's the worst type of baggage in the NFL right now is the domestic dispute baggage.
Not only is that domestic thing a big deal, but it cost him so much more money.
Yeah.
Cost you so much more money. So with Antonio being involved in this situation, and then the way it's tough because I like Antonio, but the way he was a diva at the end of the season.
He's been fucking terrible,
man,
lately.
It hurts him. It hurts him a lot. It hurts him tremendously.
I don't know. He seems to have changed, especially in the last year or two. Like, I mean, he would always do, like, he was always good for his random dumb thing. Like, I remember the speeding thing. I remember when he took the video in the locker room. And, like, you always remember him being kind of, high maintenance on the sideline. Just kind of, a lot like Des Bryant was. Not necessarily high maintenance in a bad way, but just like very passionate.
Right.
But I don't know. It kind of feels like it's something else now.
It does. It does. And what's going to happen is Antonio's going to put himself in a situation to really get. I think that what's happening is he's going to put him in a situation to get traded to a bad team.
Yeah, no, that's what they're going to do.
And I know that he wants to go to San Francisco, but I just don't see.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Exactly. No, you don't.
And
no, you don't.
I hope they ship his ass to like the Cardinals. Here you go, fucker. Go play for Cliff.
Hey, let me tell you something. That would be the most disrespectful thing. Especially go to the Cardinals when you got that college coach.
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
I would do it to him. Especially after it's like, wait a second, we gave you the extension. If I was Rooney, I absolutely would. It's like we're the ones who gave you a shot. We're the ones who took you out of Western Michigan. We're the ones who gave you the huge contract extension, and then you want to quit. All right. Well, we're gonna help you quit the whole league.
Hey, I think you're a petty motherfucker for that one, man.
I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't care.
So, hey, it's gonna be interesting though. I really see. I mean, when you put a lot of his behaviors,
yeah, send him to the worst fucking team in the NFC.
Well, that's what that's what those owners they're gonna do that anyway.
Or you know what? You know what would also be a good one? If they fucking sent him to the fucking Jets or the Bills.
Bro, that would be devastating.
It would be hilarious.
Golly, they both have new quarterback. Josh Allen is one, and Sam Darnold is the other. And you come in,
I think Josh Allen's more than Sam Darnold.
The thing that is going to be troubling though is you go from having probably a Hall of Fame quarterback, and I think that Ben Roethlisberger will be Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be like first ballot, but I think eventually he'll get in.
But you're going to basically two rookie quarterbacks, and or Jimmy Garoppolo. It's different. That's different. You mean?
No.
That's sad, man. I think that's gonna be a messed up situation. I think Carolina should try though. Carolina should definitely try because Cam Newton has nobody down there.
Yeah.
And he's throwing the ball too, unless it's Greg Olsen.
But does Cam Newton really need another fucking high attitude guy on his team? Like,
No,
you
he
remember
doesn't.
how it went with Josh Norman?
Yeah.
Which is the picture of them fighting is probably my favorite picture of all time because Cam Newton's just got him by the face
he's
mask
smiling
and
at
he's
him.
fucking laughing.
God, hey, especially he's 6'5", 260 pounds. Like, I think Josh Norman was like 5'11". Yeah,
and I think he's like 6'1". I think he's tall he's big for a corner, but Cam Newton's big for a big.
Paul.
Shit.
It's fucking disgusting.
You can take that however you want.
Hey,
He's as big as a defensive end.
You said you did say Demaryius Thomas, right? I mean, not Demaryius Thomas. You said Emmanuel Sanders. Well, he played with Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, Demaryius Thomas just got cut, man, by the Texans.
Yeah.
And I think that at 31 years old,
He's probably done.
he's done.
Well, I mean, he's just not the same guy. I don't know. I kind of wonder if he still enjoys playing.
It doesn't look like it.
No.
You know, it kind of reminds me of watching Andre Johnson in his last few years in the league.
I mean, yeah, I think it. Well, the other thing, I think Demaryius Thomas probably got so used to playing with Peyton Manning and being at dealing with that level of elite, and then you get used to something that good, and then it's all of a sudden gone, and then you're 30.
Right. Right.
He had a really good career.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, not going to be a Hall of Famer or anything, but he had a really good career. He won a Super Bowl.
I think after Peyton Manning left, it was really done for him.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel, too. Well, and, I don't know. I wonder about the effort because, he's always had kind of a little drop problem, But the last couple years, it seemed like that's gone to a whole new level.
It had. You saw that even in the Super Bowl, though.
Mm-hmm.
He had some big drops when they played Carolina in the Super Bowl, and even during the course of the season when he was at Denver, prior to Case Keenum coming there. I mean, you had a pretty fresh quarterback, but I mean he had some really bad drops.
Yeah.
And you saw that with Terrell Owens, man. As you get older and your body changes, certain things happen,
Yeah.
but you can't.
Well,
that's what it's about. The catches, man.
Yeah,
You
and
have
I mean you can make a name for yourself without the elite level hands, but at the tail end of the career, you extend your career by why do you think Larry Fitzgerald's still in the league? Route running and hands.
Yep. That's the longevity.
Yeah.
You can stay in the league a long time by doing
Demaryius Thomas was never elite in either of those categories, I don't think. I mean, he was a good route runner.
I didn't think he was that good coming out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I thought he was really good. I think he was really good. I think he was more of he was like a guy you get the ball in his hands.
Do you compare him to like an Anquan Boldin?
No, because Anquan Boldin had really good hands.
Yeah, he was good. I like Florida State. Boy, I used to watch him when he was a quarterback. He played
what's
quarterback.
a good comparison for him? He was a guy who a really good vertical threat. He was a guy when his first like 4 or 5 years
Good
in the league.
size.
He could take a screen to the house at any time. He was fast, big.
Yep. He had good size on him.
I can't. He was just a physical, he was like a poor man's version of Calvin Johnson, physically, in a lot of ways. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, he was a physical freak.
Yeah,
he was like 6'3", 220, ran a 4.4.
Yeah. I just thinking about it, I would say and I'm trying to put it together. I think Plexico Burris was a bigger player. He was like,
he kind of reminds me of, in a lot of ways, is Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah, I like that.
But
good size
with more speed.
Biggest.
He was definitely faster.
Yep.
With more speed.
Out of Kansas City.
I mean, Dwayne Bowe had the same thing. He would
have some big drops.
Yeah, huge drops.
Big drops.
He would have a spectacular catch every once in a while, but big drops.
I really hope that Demaris can get on the roster. I mean, I think he's. I still believe at 31 you can get at least a rookie, some type of rookie contract type of deal, a league minimum.
Yeah.
Give him $1 million. I mean, hell, Dez made that.
Yeah,
they gave him that. So I think he's deserving of that. I think he's deserving of that.
Yeah, the other thing that you got to consider is I wouldn't be surprised if he signed a 10-day contract with the Broncos and retired.
That's possible.
If he feels like he wants to walk away, it's really on where his mind's at, to me. Because I think he can still give some the right team out there a couple, maybe a year or two. As a third receiver.
He could.
As a second or third receiver.
Yeah, I believe he could. I think that with what he still brings to the table, he
brings a lot of experience.
Yeah, he does. A lot of veteran leadership.
Yeah.
He's never really been in trouble.
No.
He has a good head on his shoulder. Ideal player. I believe that.
Well, especially, which is crazy considering his history. I believe it's Demaryius Thomas, who I don't even think. I think his mom was in and out of jail the whole time he was growing up, and he lived with his grandma.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yep.
And then I don't think he ever met his dad. Mm-mm. So it's.
But his mom just had got out based on.
Yeah. So it was. That was him.
Pardon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obama pardoned his mom. That was a beautiful story.
Yeah. No, and good on him for, that's. I don't know if I could turn my life into something like that if I grew up with that much adversity, because it's crazy that someone who, you think about not even having, the resource of reliable parents and how important that is. And then you make it this, you have a great career in a league that 0.01% of people make it into.
Yeah, man. See, y'all hear that? Grant grew up with mama and dad. That motherfucker had roses and berries.
Didn't you grow up with both your parents?
Hey, I did, man.
Okay.
My dad was in the military though, so my mom was always taking care of us. A lot of my homeboys.
My parents
grew up differently, man. They grew up a lot different.
My dad would travel a lot when I was a kid. There was a summer he was in Saudi Arabia the whole time.
Yeah, Grant's parents is rich.
Well, that's
rich. Hey, when you say it twice, that means that motherfucker's got money. It was rich.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, speaking of Denver,
LOL.
Joe Flacco
for a mid-round pick. We don't know the pick.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible. John Elway, what are you doing? First of all, it's a bad contract. He's taking on a bad contract.
It's the worst contract that was like.
Oh
That's
my
one of the worst contracts in
gosh.
NFL history.
What is
It's one of the worst ones.
John Elway is on the hot seat officially. He's officially on the hot seat.
There was a meme, and it was John Elway's. They photoshopped John Elway's face, and he's looking at these two buttons, and he's like sweating. And the button on the left says a bad quarterback, and then the button on the right says a worse quarterback.
Dude. Hey, it's, oh my gosh, what is he thinking? What is he thinking? What are you doing, John Elway?
I think Joe Flacco's a solid backup option, but
Gosh.
I don't.
And
Look, if it's like a 5th round pick, then sure.
bro, if it's a third rounder,
If it's a third, then
they gotta steal. He's 34.
yeah, Baltimore got to steal.
Yeah, Baltimore got to steal.
If it's a 3rd round pick.
Bro, that is a steal. Because if you compare the numbers for Case Keenum and Joe Flacco,
Yeah, Case Keenum was more efficient, really. Well, not necessarily. Joe Flacco was he completed a tiny bit more of his passes, but Case Keenum, he had the better overall statistics. So he's got 62% completion. This is Case Keenum.
okay,
62% completion percentage,
Gotcha.
6.9 yards per attempt. Got 3.5 touchdown percentage, on total throws.
right.
2.3% interception rating and 84.5 rating.
Oh my gosh, they're like very close.
And then Flacco's at 62.6 compared to 62. He's at 6.5 yards an attempt compared to 6.9. He's at the exact same touchdown rate, and he's got a 2.5 interception rate.
So he throws more
compared to-
interceptions.
Yeah, compared to 2.3.
Hell no, I'm not doing it.
But I mean, really, you look at if you just put their stats up from last season, and
Identical.
yeah,
I saw that.
just talking from if you put up their efficiency numbers, because Flacco didn't start the whole year, so if you looked at total yardage, you'd be like, wait a second, this guy's terrible. Oh, he just played 10 games, and then you figure out it's Flacco because
Bro, they showed in Vegas before there was a 60-1 favorite to win a Super Bowl.
the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After the trade, the same thing.
yeah.
What is John Elway doing? Bro, Case Keenum's contract $7 million guaranteed.
Case Keenum's better.
That is a better number than that bag $18 million contract that you're gonna have to pay Joe Flacco. And now we're in a day and age where you don't have more than two quarterbacks on a roster.
Well, and now they've got. So Flacco's contracts, it's $18 million this year, 20 and then 22.
Yep.
So you've got $30 million tied up in two average quarterbacks.
God.
Maybe they think they can fuse them.
Well, they say they
into
want to
one
trade him. They want to trade Case
super
Keenum.
mediocre quarterback.
Man, what is John Elway doing?
I don't know.
He doesn't
Well,
have
and
the
then
answers.
didn't they just move down in the draft?
They did.
So, I mean,
He doesn't know.
so
He
he got Peyton Manning, and then since then he moved up in the draft to get Paxton Lynch that one year. Who did he bring in right after Peyton Manning? Who was the quarterback?
Well, they bought in that Paxton Lynch kid.
No,
They drafted him.
who is the
The kid
Trevor
out of
Simeon
out of Northwestern.
Simeon, yeah. So Simeon,
I don't even think he was that bad.
he was the best one since then. It seems like him or Case Keenum.
Yeah, I mean, he was young. I mean,
They were still
subpar.
winning games.
Yeah, he was an average quarterback.
But so you got Simeon, Paxton Lynch, who's
That was a debacle.
that was a train wreck. That's got to go down as one of their biggest first round busts.
Oh man,
Because he played one game. You don't draft a quarterback in the first round to play one game.
Man, that's sad. I mean, I don't know who was worse.
You know how
Brock
bad you gotta
Osweiler
be?
or Paxton Lynch?
Obviously, Paxton Lynch, because you know how bad you have to be a first-round pick, and they still don't play you at any point.
That's terrible.
That's really bad. Like, you have to.
I didn't think he was that good coming out of Memphis.
I mean, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was decent.
But you know, it's all about the system, though.
Yeah, they just got enamored with, like, that was the year that John Elway was super infatuated with 6'7" quarterbacks.
I'm gonna tell you, Joe Flacco is not the answer.
No,
Joe Flacco is not the answer at all.
he never was the answer.
This is a bad trade. It should have never happened.
And why does Denver keep helping out the Ravens?
I
So
thought
they take Flacco off their hands, and if you remember back to the AFC Championship when the Ravens went to the Super Bowl, Raheem Moore, he should be credited with the NFL's first assist in a game, because. And then that throw for some reason became the reason that Joe Flacco got this ridiculous contract, then the Broncos come back around. They're like, hey, you know what? Why don't you let us take the back end of that?
This is bad, man. This is bad. It's bad. If you're a fan, I'm sorry. Grady, I know. Chris, I know how you feel, man.
Yeah.
I think this is
We got the fucking Mahomie. Chiefs Kingdom.
Hey.
Do you know how weird of a situation it is? Because, like, say you talked to me last season, right?
Right.
And then you or like a couple years ago, and you said one of these AFC West teams are going to have 5 quarterbacks in a row that fucking suck. And I'd be like, oh, I know who that is. That's my Chiefs. That's my Chiefs all day. If you're like, and one team's going to sign a prodigy of the likes you've never seen, I'd be like, oh, that's fucking Broncos. Obviously, because fuck the Broncos. But no! Retribution is ours.
Hey, Denver, good luck, man. Good luck.
I feel bad for the rest of the division.
I don't like the reason I don't.
That division's ours for
Joe Flacco,
time.
man. I don't look at him like a leader. I look at him more like
No, he's a pouty little baby.
Yeah.
The whole time Lamar Jackson was playing.
Yeah, I was disgusted by that. I mean, if you watch that game, if you just watch the game tape on it, just the way his demeanor was, the way he carried himself, lack of engagement, it just showed everything I needed to see as a player, because I would never want him to be on my team. And needless to say,
look at the way Baltimore treated, like, he's their all-time leader in everything. The franchise leader in everything, quarterback related.
But
so
I think this too, though, Grant. I think that you have to. I know stats matter. I know the numbers matter. And I was talking to Nick about this. Shout out Nick. We talked about Matt Stafford. And, their general manager came out and said that it's a possibility that they may draft a quarterback. Now, a lot of people may say, well, why would you draft a quarterback with the Broncos, not the Broncos, but the Lions, when you already have Matt Stafford? Well, his numbers, they'll jump out at you. But when it comes to winning those games,
yeah, no, he hasn't.
He didn't. And this year they had a better defense. And in the past, it was always a question about their defense. When you watched him on Thanksgiving Day, like I said, we were talking about it yesterday. You saw those 2 interceptions, bad interception that was thrown.
Well, and that's been,
and you could have won a game.
Yeah, no, he's had the winning bug since college, because if you remember that his last year at Georgia, that team was fucking loaded.
Oh my God,
that team was disgusting.
No Sean Marino. Oh man,
but no Sean, Matthew Stafford, and then they had a big time receiver. Or tight end. I can't remember which one it was, but they had, and their defense.
They had AJ Green.
Yeah, AJ Green. That's who it was.
Man, they were tough. They were tough. They were big time, man.
But they couldn't win.
Well, but
they couldn't win nothing.
But at the end of the day, it's not about the stats. It's about how can you take over the game? How do you win the game? That's why when everyone talked about Tim Tebow and how bad he was, all he knew how to do was win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he wasn't the best quarterback. He wasn't even that good, really.
No.
But he would try to make something happen. Dak Prescott is the same way. A lot of people saying Dak Prescott doesn't deserve more than $15 million that he wants. But I believe he does. I believe that Dak Prescott, he knows how to win the game. We would have won. We would have been going to the Super Bowl this year if it wasn't for that bullshit defensive game that we had. I think we would have beat this. I think Dallas would have beat the Saints. That's my opinion. Hey, that's a fan talking though. I still believe that ultimately Dak is a better quarterback than $15 million. If Case Keenum is getting 9, Joe Flacco is getting 18, I think Dak deserves to be at least an 18 million. 18, $19 million. And that's the going rate right now in the league.
Well, yeah, that's the going rate right now, but everything, I think he deserves that because, and here's why. Because the quarterback market is about to, so Aaron Rodgers just signed, right? Wasn't Aaron Rodgers just signed the richest contract?
Yeah.
That is about to get shattered by whatever they're going to give Mahomes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. They said he could get $200 million.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes be the first quarterback ever to get $200 million.
Yeah, and he should.
Golly, $200 million? Oh, my God.
So that's going to change the whole landscape.
Man, that would be crazy. Would it be 10 years, $200 million? What do you think?
They're gonna. I mean,
you have to put the.
You have to lock him down
for the rest of his life.
He's that good. You can. It's written all over him.
$200
You're talking
million.
about how many first year starters have gone to the AFC Championship game and been that fucking prolific the whole time? The answer is no one. I mean,
he got the MVP in his first starting year.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It's insane.
That is impressive.
He threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
That is impressive as fuck. I'm not lying.
You in your first year, you did something that only two other people did, throwing for 50 touchdowns.
Yep. With Peyton Manning
and Brady.
Yep.
The two best.
That was Patrick Mahomes. He's a bad boy. I like Patrick Mahomes a lot, but I'm going with Dacky.
Yeah,
Dak Prescott.
No, but I think Dak gets that, and I think everyone in the whole league sees the Mahomes contract coming. So I think
it's deserving. It's deserving, man. And I wish Denver nothing but the worst.
Yeah,
because
Fuck you,
John
Chris.
Elway has been shit.
You got your Super Bowl,
and I don't like Joe Flacco, so I don't give a fuck about them. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Don't like Joe Flacco. Love Demaryius Thomas.
I do like Von Miller though. I'm a big
love
fan
Von Miller.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like their offense though. I hate the offense, but their defense, I love it. So
Joe Flacco.
Still
By the end of next year, Joe Flacco might be my favorite player in the NFL, depending on how terrible he plays for the Broncos. The more terrible he plays, the more I like him, because he plays for the Broncos. Do you understand?
Hey,
I'm gonna have to mail Chris a Flacco jersey. Flacco Bronco.
He's not.
Flacco Bronco.
He's not gonna take that shit.
No, he's not.
Hey, well, man, what else you got on the docket, man? You got anything?
No,
else?
that's it.
That's it, man. Hey, well, guys, it's been fun. Happy Valentine's Day, man. You guys go out, enjoy yourself today. Enjoy yourself tomorrow, Friday. Have a great weekend. We love you all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our YouTube. Follow us on our Facebook page. Also, go to our Twitter at 110 Ocean Drive. Fuck with us. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure that you hit the notification link to get the notifications. Man, we love you all. I got something different playing today, though, by that boy Trigger. Yeah? Play it for me, Alex. Drop that thing. Yes, sir.
Bentley GT, skirt, beep, beep, girl, meet me in my bed. I'ma go down, ride them cheat on pensar.